As part of my journey to 500 hours in Breath of the Wild, I wanted to do something that I haven't done before. But obviously with the amount of time I've played, I've built Tarrey Town. So for the second act of the road to 500, I decided to ask myself with my current skill set, how fast can I build Tarrey Town? Let's find out. Unlike in my random item speedrun video, I began this run in the Shrine of Resurrection as I wanted to get a few early game items for this run. Now, let's be honest, if you clicked on this video, you probably know how the opening cutscene of Breath of the Wild goes. And you probably don't want to watch it, and neither do I. So, I quickly used a glitch which by scoping in on the camera with Link running into this wall at a very specific angle, you can clip into this weird underground area. Then, to get out of the underneath area of the Shrine of Resurrection, you just run and crouch in another very specific spot and Link just pops out from underground. Neat! Doing this trick doesn't just allow me to skip the opening cutscenes, it also freezes time, which means Hyrule is forever covered in daylight and no style enemies can spawn. This sounds good on paper, but little did I know that this was going to be a massive mistake. So I did the normal stuff you do on the Great Plateau. I activated the tower, jumped off the tower, took no fall damage, then completed the first 4 shrines of the game. And after all the tutorial stuff was finally over, I did a BLSS and flew all the way towards Rito Village. You see, in order to build Tarrey Town, there are a few things that you need to do. First, you need to get 110 wood. And you also need to find one person from each of the 4 main regions of Hyrule to move into Tarrey Town. But there's a small catch. In order to gain access to the quest to build Tarrey Town, you need to first buy a house in Hateno Village, for which you need 3,000 rupees and another 30 wood, which means that we need 140 wood in total. So you're probably thinking, why aren't I going to Hateno Village to buy the house first? Well, that's because Rito Village has the most distance away from Tarrey Town, and I'm gonna have to come here pretty late in the questline anyways. And also, Rito Village is one of the easiest areas in the game to farm lots of wood. And since I can do this convenient trick that'll get me there really fast, it shouldn't be a big deal, right? Oh, that makes sense. So after picking up a horse and killing the Talus, I named the horse Lycan Sub, yes, I'm doing the same joke twice, and I arrived at Rito Village and began chopping wood. The good news is that since I'm just cutting down trees, there's no chance I can die, right? What is my life? Okay, that one's on me. So after I collected all the wood and gems I needed, I activated the fast travel point at the top of the village for later and teleported back to the tower on the Great Plateau. And then I accidentally blew myself up mid-air trying to do a boomy zoomy, which meant I had to waste even more time recollecting all the wood that I had just lost. Who could have guessed that my worst enemy in this run would be myself? So after I finally arrived to the Dueling Peak stable, I grabbed my horse and began racing towards Hateno. Once I got there, I sold all of my gems, and then I realized I somehow didn't have enough money. Luckily, thanks to my immense game knowledge and my big brain, I knew that there were some luminous stones nearby. So I successfully boomy-zoomed my way all the way over to them, so that I could then sell them to give Bolson 30 wood and all of my money so that I could buy the house. Completing this first objective allowed me to finally talk to Hudson, which caused him to go to Tarrey Town. So I followed him and made a quick pit stop to say hi to Sidon, and now I can finally begin to build Tarrey Town. The first thing I had to do, besides giving Hudson all of the wood and getting annihilated, was head to Death Mountain to invite a Goron to the village. Oh yeah, and every person I'm recruiting has to have the word son at the end of their name. I don't know why, it seems stupid to me, genuinely. Before continuing all the way up to Death Mountain, I stopped to grab some fireproof elixirs. But it was around this time that I realized that I actually had to activate Time of Day to be able to invite the Goron to Tarrey Town. This is because the Goron Grayson and his brother Pelison won't stop working until nighttime. And in case you haven't noticed, we're still in the middle of the day. Wait a second, doesn't that mean I have to watch? The start of building the Tarrey Town run, chat. 2 hours and 20 minutes we spent in that Shrine of Resurrection trying to clip out. My gosh. Believe it or not, this single Goron is the only reason Time of Day needs to be active in this run. Every other NPC in the game can or needs to be talked to during the day. After recruiting the Goron brothers, the next objective is to go find a tailor to help make and fix Hudson's clothes. So, off to Gerudo Desert we go. Thank highly I don't need to fight a certain boss in this run. Thankfully, we don't have to go all the way to Gerudo Town. We can just stop at Karakara Bazaar and sit at a campfire, and then speak with Ronson to have her go off to Tarrey Town. Then we have to go back to Tarrey Town, talk to Hudson, give him more wood, and then go off to Rito Village. This questline is super repetitive. I cashed in on going to Rito Village early by talking to Faison, and then find out that Hudson and Ronson are getting married, but they need a priest. So, it's off to Zora's domain to talk to Capson, who's delighted to help out. I return to Tarrey Town with him, excited for the upcoming wedding, and then I'm told I need to go get Bolson and Carson from Hateno Village and invite them to the wedding. Let's go to Tarrey Town! Man, what a ride. What a ride indeed. Oh. Upon returning to Tarrey Town and speaking to Hudson, we go through all of the motions for the wedding to take place, including the guidelines, and then once the wedding is concluded, we have to go over to talk to Hudson one last time, and the run ends with a final time of 2 hours, 46 minutes, and 27 seconds. Ouch. I made plenty of mistakes while doing this run that can 100% be improved on. Whether it's already having time of day active and making sure I have enough money, there's a lot of things that I could do better. Like maybe not blowing myself up chopping down a stupid tree.